Welcome to episode 12 of the Birmingham Sportscast. Just two of us here today. Ethan, as usual, with Gunnar. What's up, Gunnar?
Nothing much, man.
I feel that. Well, we finally got some lead, so that's good news. I actually want to bring up one point before that. I didn't tell you this, but we actually have other Birmingham news. The Bulls season has been pushed back to like December, so it is what it is. They need ticket revenue. I understand that. They're trying to get to a safe spot where they can have fans and stuff. But besides that, now we'll move on to Legion. Let's go. So diving right in, played 3 games, 2 wins, 1 draw. What's your opinion on this team?
Well, taking into consideration all 3 matches, I don't think I'm in any spot to complain right now. I mean, I was hoping at this point in time with the teams we played that we would be at least 2-0-1, with that one being a loss. So I know after rewatching that Tampa Bay Rowdies games, or at least the highlights, I really wish Nico Brett would have put home that second goal, because I mean it just felt like that would have totally turned the momentum in our favor, because we've been bad this season about scoring a goal and then kind of relaxing. I feel like if we were to keep applying pressure, we could go up 2 or 3 goals like we did against Memphis, applying that and I know it's Memphis, but I mean applying that consistent pressure to take advantage of teams and put them away in the first half. I feel like that Tampa Bay game was totally winnable. I mean, in my opinion, I know everyone's hyped about Tampa Bay always being one of the best teams in the USL year in and year out. But I mean, I thought that game should have been a win. So I'm happy that we're undefeated, but I feel like we could be 3-0 right now.
Yeah, I remember. I feel the same exact way. Like, I'm happy with the results, but that Tampa Bay game, honestly, it hurt a little bit because the 3 points were there to be had, and we just didn't secure all of them. I remember Tommy Sohn and was it Alex? Last name?
Cronulla.
Yes, there we go. Just part right there. They even came out and said after the game, they were like, all 3 points were there. We just didn't capitalize on it. Which, I mean, by golly, if we got all like 9 points from 3 games, I'd be flying over the moon. Still flying over the moon right now,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm just glad that we got that Tampa Bay game out of the way this early too, because that's one of the harder opponents every year. They're so consistent and deep. To get a draw, even at home, I mean, I'll take it, because
Right.
easily it could have been a loss. So,
Yeah, I mean, I've been really, really happy with the play in the first 3 games. I mean, aside from probably the first 15, maybe not even 15, probably 10 minutes against Memphis where we looked sloppy and, we were just all over the place. We have played some really controlled soccer with great build-up play, you know, using, guys' speed on the wings and making good passes. I mean, we have a great midfield. I think our strength is in the midfield with guys like with Anderson and Bolu. Like, those guys know how to build up play correctly. And I mean, that's something, I mean, I don't want to say we were lacking last year, but I mean, even when you're comparing him to guys like DJ we would have had last year, DJ took a while. Like, he had the moves to beat people, but he took a while to build up play. Like, he would be content sitting in the midfield and just, working it by himself, beating a guy and then distributing. We have Anderson, who just has like bursts of speed to get forward, play a ball out to Bruno on the wing, and we're already like in on goal or able to play that cross through. I mean, that's something that is like really exciting that we didn't necessarily have last year. So I mean, our build up play has been super strong, and I think that, I don't want to jinx anything with our defense, but we've seemed pretty solid, at least with with Mikey stepping up again to play an outside back role, and Cromwell. I know he went down last game, but hopefully it's nothing too serious, and it shouldn't be. But both of those guys have really stepped up, along with with Dean when they had him back there, and then also with Roof. So I mean, our defense, even though we really don't have the depth to be going all out on our back line yet, I think that our defense is better than last year too.
yeah, it's kind of like there's so many guys this year that are like such quality, like every single line, like in the defense, even though, as you said, it was thin, still quality players there. And then in the midfield and forwards, it's kind of like pick your poison of who you want to talk about. And basically who you want to score on you, pretty much. Because like Johnny Dean, opposite side of Mikey, three assists, I believe. I don't think he recorded one against Tampa Bay.
Right.
Lapa got that.
Yep.
So very pleased with Johnny Dean. He's been converting. I mean, 3 assists for a fullback in 2 games.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty solid numbers right there.
I mean, in his, like, if I were in his shoes, I mean, that is, I know that Bruno's kind of getting all the attention for the goals, but Johnny Dean, like, to step up the way he has early in the season, I think it's really impressive for a guy his age, just coming out of college. I mean, because, like I said, I mean, even the guys we had last year who were just coming out of college, nobody really had that early impact. You look at a guy like, I know this is not the same position, but Laurent, I mean, the way it took him probably 3 to 4 months at least to gel and get into his actual in-season form. Because I mean, I know you remember all the red cards and the fouls and the penalties conceded and all that stuff. But then by the end of the year, he was before the injury, before his torn ACL that he's still recovering from, and hopefully he gets back soon. But I mean, by the end of the year, he was easily the rock of our defense. And I just love how all of a sudden all these new faces are already contributing. I mean, that's something that we didn't really experience last year. I mean, I guess last year every face was new for us, but I mean, these younger guys, it's something good and, you know, a lot different from what we saw last year.
Yeah, and I want to say the average age is like 24 of the whole squad, which in my mind for a USL championship team, you know, is crazy.
Right.
To have this quality and form, and 24, like we have 7 debuts so far according to the Legion. It kind of varies because of Rudolph and stuff like that. But you got Eli, Alex's younger brother. You got Jake Roof, Rudolph Mensa, Johnny Dean, Bruno Lapa, Jaden Cervania, and then Braxton. I'm not even going to attempt to say his name, but he featured against Memphis in the home opener. But I mean, if you go down the line, like Eli has contributed quite a lot so far through 3 games. Jake started against Tampa Bay, contributed in multiple matches. Rudolph, he's the little. I expected him to get more features so far. He's only featured against Memphis, I believe. And then Johnny Dean, obviously we know about him. Bruno, we obviously know about him. Jaden started 1 or 2, come on as sub, and the others. Yeah, but it's just, to me, it's mind-boggling because I saw all these guys come in preseason. You know, I was like, oh, nice depth. Substitute pieces. Come in 80th minute. So, you know, if we're down or if we're down, slap Rudolph on. If we're up, slap a defensive midfielder on, someone like that, or back line, you know. But these guys have really stepped up in a way that I was not expecting, and I'm very pleased with it. I am very pleased with it. And undeniably, Bruno being the star, the MVP of that group so far, MVP of the Legion. But kicking it back, last year's MVP, I like that transition right there. Prosper got hurt, and I was actually talking to my dad about this. Prosper has not contributed at all really this year, which is the crazy thing. And it's I'm not saying it's bad, you know, it's not bad because he might just not have the chances or something.
Yeah.
But the fact is that he hasn't contributed yet is crazy to me, because just imagine when he comes back off the injury, I believe it's hamstring, so out a couple more weeks. If he gets into form, that's just gonna like elevate this team to another. You have Prosper running at you. You have Brian, Lapa. I mean, so many guys.
Yeah, I mean, with Prosper, the thing is, I don't know if you've noticed this or if it's just been me. I feel like at least in our first 2 games, all of our build-up play came on that left wing. For some reason, like any ball that was coming down was played away from Prosper and to Bruno. So, I mean, all that build-up play, and it was working for us perfectly. But, I mean, if we can get Prosper and if we can, you know, balance out which side we distribute and then attack from, I think we could be really, really dangerous and probably even one of the more dangerous attacking teams in the USL. I mean, you look at a guy like Brian Wright. He picked up where he left off from last year, or even better, because you're not telling me as a center back or whoever, you see a dude who's 6'3" or maybe a little taller with his build and his speed coming at you in a one-on-one situation that you're not getting worried defensively. Because his skills, I've not seen a guy of his build. The dude is absolutely like jacked, and he will still take touches outside and beat you one-on-one. And if they play the long ball over, he's still running it down and going in one-on-one, like we saw, against Memphis. But I mean, it's amazing that, I mean, a guy like him who wasn't really respected during his time with the Revs, I mean, it's like, this dude's a stud. And I mean, like, I know we saw glimpses of it last year, but it really doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to get too deep into this, but last year, even when like Wright was on the team, he was benched a lot in favor of Hoffman. So I'm not sure like what the whole ordeal of us developing a lineup, because if you remember the game, I'm not even sure who it was against. It might have been North Carolina, or it could have been Charlotte. I'm not sure. The one where Hoffman went down with the leg injury. Brian Wright was coming on as a sub in like the 34th minute because of that injury. So I mean, last year Wright really wasn't favored ahead of other guys like that, and now this year he's really become our number one goal scoring threat. I mean, I know Bruno is up there as well, but as you know, as an actual center forward, Brian has been the guy.
Yeah, and do you think this poses an interesting question? Nico, obviously he had an injury he was dealing with an injury the first couple games. Finally got to start off the left. What happens when Prosper? Let's say, well, first off, let me lay this out. It'll be interesting. This is more of a, I'm not putting this in a question form, just more of a statement, observation form. It'll be interesting to see if we have, let's say, Prosper comes back on the right, gets in form, playing good. Bruno's in form. Who's our third guy who's been starting up there? We've had Brett
It's been Cervania once, and then it was Brett when he got healthy again.
Okay, see, I thought, well, let's just roll with it. Cervania, let's just say he gets incredible form. Basically, you got Brett and Wright, both insane form. Let's say Brett's at his caliber, like he was against us, slotting 4 goals away. That's going to be interesting. That selection right there.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at. That's because could we see a repeat of like a Hoffman-Wright situation again? I mean, honestly, in my eyes, I don't see it coming to that. I think Brett's going to trump Cervania any day of the week. But it's just something to think about. Just a very interesting point.
Yeah, I don't really want to address the play of Nico Brett because, I mean, I know I already said I was disappointed that he didn't put the goal against Tampa Bay away. That, I mean, I really wanted to go in. That would have put us up 2-0. But, I mean, like I said, he's coming off an injury, so I don't want to, judge his play too early. But, I mean, if you're thinking about it, like the lineup we could have with Wright up top and then Brett maybe playing right beneath him, but still as a striker, and then having Kasim on the right and then Lapa on the left. I mean, that is just like a dangerous lineup moving forward. And even guys like Anderson and Bolu, you have Bolu as that rock.
I still don't know how Bolu's here, bro. The presence he's had has been immense. It's gone a little under the radar because of Lapa and, all these other guys, right? But he has been the most consistent and solid player that we've had. I will put that on the record right now.
He's been so calm, so collected in distribution and anything. I mean, he is an absolute rock in the back.
Cannot be pleased with him. But what is it? I feel like these guys, guys like Nico and Prosper once he comes off his injury, some of these guys are going to hit mid-season. I want to put my money on that Brett's going to hit against Atlanta United too. That's about we got North Carolina, Charlotte, then ATL too.
Yep.
I bet he's going to go off in that game. I know ATL looked pretty good last night, I believe, against Miami. Do you see the result of that game? It's like
no, I didn't actually, but I probably should have.
I'm going to fact check that real quick. But another funny point in that game, what is it? A guy was on a yellow and then he scored and then he took his shirt off and forgot he was on a yellow and then got sent off.
Oh, man.
Classic ATL too. But let me pull that up here. Oh, it wasn't 3-3. It was 4-3. ATL beat Miami.
They still
And
don't play
Miami
any
is like
defense.
Miami is dubbed like not winners, but like a good team,
Hey,
coming into this.
are we still gonna play Miami eventually?
I believe they're on the schedule, yeah. And then
Okay.
let me check here. I believe they're in the Charleston, Tampa Bay. Yeah,
That
they're
would make
yeah,
sense.
we are. We play them let's see, later in the season. Miami September 16th. So they're the last game.
Okay.
So down there. But that'll be an interesting matchup. I'm excited to see that. Hopefully we'll just like wreck their world.
Yeah, honestly. Same
Yeah,
with
but
same with Atlanta. I mean, I was gonna say that's a team that we've pretty much dominated both times we played them last year. So coming up here, that's going to be a game, like you said, that's going to give guys a chance to, show what they can do in front of goal. And for somebody like Brett, who maybe had, coming off an injury, maybe lacking a little bit of confidence, I think that could be a game where he could, explode for 2 or 3 goals.
imagine JJ getting sent down to ATL too. I know Russ, he's not here to defend himself. He keeps denying that JJ's going down, but I feel like he's gonna. It's a matter of time for me.
Can you imagine if JJ was still in Birmingham? I mean, I
It's
understand.
a
I understand
loaded
his
lineup.
generation Adidas contract and his ties with the MLS and all that crap. But I mean, if JJ was still here, you don't like. There's no convincing me. I'm already pretty, firm in my beliefs about where we are as a team in the USL. That's with JJ. That's easily the best attacking team in the USL, the whole USL.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Trump's Phoenix any day of the week.
yeah.
But what is his contract? His GA contract up this year? I don't
I'm
know off
not
the top
sure.
of my.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Just
But I mean,
imagine he Bright's on a multi-year deal. I know that for a fact with the
yep,
Legion. So he's
yep.
going to be here next year. Hoffman's on a multi-year deal. He's going to be here next year. Brett, I'm assuming he's on a multi-year deal just because how good he is.
Yeah.
Imagine if JJ comes back down to Birmingham. Oh my gosh, that
Crazy.
would. I mean, one can dream, but it kind of sucks because we had it in the palm of our hand and we never got to see it. You
Yeah.
know, but
I still remember how hype I was when I saw that Instagram post of him walking and they come up behind him and he's that just his that he is back in Birmingham. I mean, that was exciting. And then sure enough, within a few days, gone.
I know it just yeah, man. But moving on, let's go on to Lapa because I mean we'll take about like not too long, but there's a lot to get to here. This dude is a stud. Um, put it plain and simple. 3-3. I know it's only 3 games, but I mean he had 3 goals. I don't know how many assists. I didn't do my research before this, but I mean, what a player. That's all. That's what I'm gonna leave it at, and I'll
Yeah.
turn it over to you.
I mean, he is one of those guys that coming into the season didn't know anything about him besides the fact that he was Brazilian and he went to Wake Forest. And this dude has already made a name for himself. I mean, he is putting himself in the right place at the right time, making great runs on the wings, beating guys, playing in good balls. I mean, it is impressive, especially someone who's just out of the college game. I know the ACC is a great conference, so he's obviously had some time to develop his game there. But I mean, that it's been impressive, and I mean, it's kind of been maybe one thing we've been lacking at least last year. That dude on the wing who could just every single time slice in, take a shot, play a ball in. It has been really, really impressive, and I'm really excited. Hope he stays healthy. Really excited to see what he can do, moving forward.
Yeah, and I don't want to like throw stuff around there, but all these college guys, more than likely they're on 1-year deals. And last game, I know I mentioned this in our group chat, but like there were MLS people there. This could be nothing. I'm not trying to start anything. It's just a point to make because it could be something, but it also could not be something. They could be looking at somebody completely different. They could not be looking at anybody at all from the Legion. It's just one of those things. But it's worth noting that was it Kaylor Hodges? He actually tipped me off on this. there were MLS people there with credentials is what I got taking notes. So, I mean, especially in these times, these MLS clubs, they are probably looking at championship players. Who knows if that was Lapa or not. Wouldn't be surprised if it was, but definitely this guy can, if he continues his form, he's not going to be here next year. He's going to be on an MLS roster somewhere, I imagine. Easy. But, I mean, that's just, I mean, the dude is just, I'm at a loss of words talking for him, you know, because it's just like came out of nowhere, came out of left field.
I mean, like, I know you were talking about Mensa before the season, but I mean, even like I could not have even predicted that Lapa would have been a guy because, like I said, I just wasn't familiar with his name. And just to see what, you know, as a starter since game one, I mean, just to see him come in and act like he's been playing at that level or higher for like 5 years now, it's been very, very impressive.
Yeah, shout out to, what is it, Andrew at Soccer in the Magic City, because Bruno was his pick to break out this year, like the X factor of all the new guys. I was like, well done, bro, well done. I get a message after every game. He's like, I told you Bruno's panning out. I'm like, yeah, you did. But yeah, so switching it over, we were talking about the forwards earlier. Hoffman's on loan at Orange County. Not much doing over there for him, but granted, he got there and then had to quarantine himself for a while. So he ended up only getting a couple training sessions in before the first game. Came on for about, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes in the first match. Second match came on for about, I believe, with stoppage time, it was like 15 minutes. And then their game last night got postponed because, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but COVID. We'll stick with COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID, like, I forgot I believe it was Sacramento. They just played a team that got COVID, so protocols, all that jazz.
Yeah.
That's been postponed. Yeah, not doing too much, but definitely keep an eye out. That's all I got on Hoffman, honestly.
Yeah.
Just grinding it out there.
I saw his first appearance, and I mean, everyone knows that he's on such short notice joining a new team, forming these bonds with new guys. It's never easy, especially coming off an injury like he is. I mean, he's already working on getting up to full speed again, and to do it with an entirely different team with just a couple days of practice, I mean, it's never easy. So hopefully, they keep using him and give him some more time here and there once he adapts and becomes used to his new team.
I do have to say, the Orange County alternate kits, I believe they're all oranges. Those are fire. Those are nice kits.
Now, are those different than the ones with the orange top and then the black shorts?
Yeah, they wear that combo too.
I only
same
saw I only saw his first appearance, but no, I mean, they're pretty clean Adidas kits, so I mean, I got to look that up after this.
Yeah, what is it? I just remember this fact, and it was something I wanted to bring up. I love Hoffman. I mean, if there's the 1% chance you're listening to this, Chandler, what is it? Love you. But I brought this point up for months on end now. What was it? He was at Louisville. He left Louisville and went to Real Monarchs. Okay, whenever he left, Louisville won the title. He left Real Monarchs and came here to Birmingham. Real Monarchs won the title. He's out in Orange County now. Granted, he's on loan, but still, he's not in the squad. We got a solid team through the first 3 games. There's a chance. I mean, I'm not trying to jinx anything, knock on wood, but if history repeats itself, we're going to have a title. But yeah, that's just a fun point I like to point out. But definitely a team that could go to the final. Easy for us. If we start clicking, everybody's healthy. It's just that back line that concerns me. But once Matu comes back, dang Bergman.
Yeah.
But nothing against Bergman. Just, what is it? I was not expecting that at all. We haven't discussed that.
We have not. No. I mean, it just his retirement just came out of the blue. And I mean, even the guys who retired after last year, that was kind of surprising because they're in that 24 to 26-year-old age range. So I mean, it's completely fair to say if you have a chance to make more money doing something else, do that, especially if you're passionate about it. But I mean, it's just disappointing because I mean, with any team, you grow attached to these guys. Especially like me, I knew Femi from when I was younger. Like he's a big name around here in Indiana. So I mean, guys like that where you already know who they are, and then you get to see them playing professionally after time spent in the MLS. It's always difficult to see them retire at an age around that. But I mean, if they're doing something else that they're passionate about and they're making more money, props to them for doing that. But I mean, Bergman was definitely a guy that I thought would have been playing for sure in our back line out of Maryland. So I mean, and he was a national championship winner too. So I mean, just he already had that high level experience, in the Big Ten. So I mean, it would have been interesting to see him play and see how he fit in, at least until Laurent could have came back. But yeah, Laurent's back in practice. He still has that leg brace on, but I saw, according to his Instagram today, the photos he was posting looked like he was going somewhat close to full speed. But hopefully that once he gets back into the swing of things, they take it nice and easy on him, and he can work his way up, back to full health and contribute like he did near the end of last season.
Yeah, and one good thing that actually came out of this Bergman retiring, actually, if you think about it, more than likely Johnny Dean would not be playing because Rozak had to shift over to center back, which flipped Mikey over to the left. Johnny Dean's slots on the right. Prosper's not hurt for the first couple games, so he wouldn't slot in at right mid, even though he can play there. He can play center back. I know that for a fact. But I don't know if he wouldn't. He might have played there, so maybe what I'm saying is just contradicting itself in a way. But if you look at it, it actually worked out because Johnny Dean, 3 assists, 2 matches, so not too bad. But yeah, let's just move on to basically previewing a couple more games, and then so basically we got. Who's next? I just had the schedule and I lost it.
NCFC, or is it Charlotte and then NCFC?
NCFC first.
Okay.
At NCFC. Our boy Akeem Moore. Akeem, you got to come on, bro. Left me on red again, bro, for 2 weeks. It's all chill, though. All love for Akeem, though. That North Carolina team, they were down 2-0 to Tampa. In Tampa. And granted, fatigue sets in, but they came back and got a draw, which I was I was watching that live, and I was very impressed by that.
Yeah, I mean, there's really only one game that I can think about with NCFC, obviously being last year's playoff, but but it's going to be different this time around. Maybe not so different. Hopefully we can pull out a win because any team on the road is a tough matchup, and NCFC has always been a good team. So hopefully we can put together a solid showing. The good thing is we do have a week off. So, I mean, the guys should be a little rested. But we'll see, and we can hope for the best.
After that, it's just a rough schedule, timing-wise, because you got, and granted, forbid, one of these gets postponed and slots in for, another miserable, 3-game stretch.
Yeah.
But we got North Carolina, Charlotte's. Well, North Carolina's the 1st. Charlotte's the 5th. ATL's the 8th. Charlotte again on the 12th. North Carolina again on the 15th. That's
a tough stretch. And I mean,
15 days.
And I know that once we complete that, we get to, just take out anything on Memphis, and that'll be, like a 4-0 win. No, I'm playing, but hopefully a guy can hope, right? But I mean, that is a tough stretch of games, at least with the Charlotte and NCFC aspect of that schedule. I mean, it's a tough string. So, I mean, we're really going to see what we're made of moving forward and how serious we are about qualifying for the playoffs this year. Because I know, according to some site that I saw on Instagram, it's our chances are already 83% to qualify.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to go in too much, but I mean, obviously after these first games, we've looked like a real threat, and it's not going to be with our group. It's not going to be, I don't want to say it's going to be too difficult, but I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a test to finish top 2. But I mean, if we keep playing with our form and playing up to our full potential, then it should be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to say if we stay healthy, that's the big key factor through this stretch. There's a chance, I believe, we get not easy, but 12 points out of 15 points.
Health
Doing the
is going
math
to
right there.
health is going to be the
Yeah,
big determining factor.
that's if circle the if we stay healthy.
Yeah.
And hopefully Prosper might come back towards the end of that. Razak, I don't know his injury. Let's hope it's not bad because I believe his ankle area,
Yeah.
which I mean it's kind of hit or miss. It's either 3 days or was he in training? I don't. I actually think he was in training, possibly.
I would need to look back at the photos, but actually, you know what? I don't know who I'm thinking of. I think I might be thinking of Cervania, but it wouldn't surprise me if Razak was. I think I did see that Razak being back in training, and I mean his injury didn't look too bad considering the fact that he tried to play on it for another 5 or 10 minutes before going down and then being subbed off. So I mean, hopefully it's nothing more than a tweak. So I
Yeah,
mean, I don't want to predict
yeah,
anything, but hopefully he's back soon.
yeah. Yeah, 12 points, 15. Now, if we don't stay healthy, I still say we get at least 8 points, solid eight
Yeah,
points.
I would
That's
even
two
put that.
wins, two draws.
I would even put that
Drawn
number
them
at
up.
I would even put that number at 11, considering our form, even with new guys, has been really, really good. So I'm pretty confident in our ability to, you know, come in and make plays and win games, considering we might not know who this guy is. Like we didn't really know anything about Roof until he made that appearance against Tampa Bay. Looked shaky for about 10 minutes and then was really, really solid the rest of the game. So I mean, if every guy has his confidence and ability to do something like that, then even with the lack of depth we have, I mean, these new guys can come in and make an impact.
Yeah, we've got typical Birmingham rain going on right now. Um, one last thing I want to touch on, and then we can wrap this up. Keep it nice and short, simple. It's time. Was it transfer window time, basically? Nobody's making actual transfers in the USL. Getting
Yep.
free agents is what we're doing here. But I know for a fact, unless something went down the drain very quickly, that Legion obviously have money to invest. If they want to bring somebody in, they can.
Yep.
Me personally, I don't see them bringing anyone. Maybe one person, one or two people for depth, especially on the back line. Nothing crazy, though. Nothing like an Anderson like last year, especially with the MLS being down in the bubble. It makes it a
Yep.
lot more tricky because I don't know nobody really knows how that's going to work with them signing and releasing and COVID and all this stuff. But if you could choose one position to bring in a free agent for depth, not necessarily starting spot, just for depth, kind of like a college guy, maybe like a Johnny Dean or somebody like that, in his situation, what position would it be?
I think the only real answer would would to be choose somebody on the back line. So I think I'd say center back because our depth with center back after Bergman retired and Laurent coming back from an injury, we're still pretty shaky. And even Cromwell playing center back and now having the issues with his ankle or whatever. I think center back is a position that we could use another solid guy back there because I mean we have Cronale who's just been a stud and even putting a goal away last game. I mean, who saw that coming? I
Those
sure as
long
heck didn't.
balls, bro, that he dishes out from the back.
Perfect pat, yeah, perfect accuracy for sure. It's really really impressive. Um, but I mean, if we could get somebody who is, you know, 85% of the player that he is, that could be good for our depth and just say another guy goes down or somebody retweaks something. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but just for the purpose of depth, I think center back would be a position that we should look at. And if we do bring somebody in, like you said, have it be somebody who has good college experience, like the guys we've gotten, and can come in and play up to that level quickly. Because I mean, we've done a great job of that. So hopefully we can find another guy if that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Center back, definitely. It would be nice to have some. I don't want to say we need it, which we kind of do need it, but I'll leave it at it would be very nice to have. Yeah, you got any more points you want to touch on? Anything at all?
that was pretty good.
It was
I think
very
that was,
chill, very
yeah,
chill, laid back. We'll get Russ back on the next episode.
yeah. We need that man back.
Hot take central right there with his three back. That man cannot get off the three back
Yeah,
system.
we still gotta we gotta ask those questions to him about his lineup choices because I mean every single prediction there's always something weird. I mean he still wants Nasco in goal and he still wants.
Yeah. I forgot to do him last week, but what is it? Russ told me he wanted Nasco and goal. Femi up top. I'm like, Femi's retired, bro. But hey, call it Femi. Get him back down here.
Yeah.
Center back.
At the least get him on the podcast, you know.
Oh, we will. We will. We got to get somebody retired. Well, we already had Ben. We'll get somebody else. Yeah, this has been episode 12. Very chill. It's actually nice. Just chill episode. Sweet. Well, thank you all for listening. We'll be back at it. Shoot. Next episode will be 13. Dang, we've been going for a while. I honestly did not believe it would be this long and consistent. I believed in the length of it. We'd get to 13, but not consistent. But yeah, sweet. Till next time, guys. See you later.